Hello and welcome, it's Daniel Johnson here, and this is Best Thing. Now, as you may know, each week we talk to a different guest about the best things in their life, from TV and film, to travel, to sport, to music, and something random of their choosing. This week's guest is the multi-talented Aaron Renfree. His multi-talented skills has allowed him to choreograph and dance with stars all over the world. He's choreographed for TV, West End shows, and even choreographed me in the X Factor Tour 2010. Some people will know him from S Club Juniors, where he showed off his skills very early on. He's this week's guest, and I can't wait to find out all about his best things. As always, we've got Adam Harris and his Fat Chicken, Bethia Beats with her brand new music, all put together by Professor. Next up, Adam Harris's Fat Chicken and interview with Aaron Renfree.
Hi guys, Adam Fat Chicken doing the fact check-in for you. Can cockroaches survive an apocalypse? You hear that one a lot. We're going to find out the answer to that at the end of the podcast.
Aaron, it's been a long time. Thank you so much for doing the podcast. It's called Best Thing, and we're going to run down some of the best things in your life. And we're going to start with TV and film. What have you been watching lately? Come on.
Okay, so obviously I've done pretty much, because now everyone's actually speaking like to each other in lockdown. Everyone's like, exchanging stories of what's watching. So I've obviously done like the Tiger Kings and the rubbish reality stuff on what's that, Too Hot to Handle on all the Netflix stuff that you just feel like you have to watch because everyone's talking about it. I finished How to Get Away with Murder, the final season, which is what I'm obsessed with. Like,
so now you know how to get away with it. So it's fine.
I do, which is scary. It's weird actually. I find myself in day to day thinking like, oh, that's what they would do here, or now if this happens, like this is what they would do. Like, just obsessed. No, but I've got a massive passion for, like, this sounds really weird, and I hope no one like judges me for it, but I just love crime and mystery and like prison escape lawyer stuff, like just anything where there's like a thing that needs to be kind of unraveled. I am there and I just love it.
I think you're not the only person to say that on this podcast. A lot of people have been loving the crime documentaries. I'm going to take you right back to the beginning, and when you were younger, do you remember what you were watching? What you were watching? More films, watching more TV, Disney stuff? What were your kind of favorite go-tos?
Okay, so this is a bit of a sad story. I was not a massive film person at all growing up, just through but my hometown Newquay didn't even have a cinema. And my mum and dad were always used to be busy at work. And then my gran actually used to take me to the cinema like once in a blue moon. I always felt like embarrassed going to the cinema with my gran. And I think the first thing I ever watched at the cinema was Casper, the Ghost. That was the first film I think I saw at the cinema. And I just don't think, like, it's weird. As I kind of came up to London and kind of started making friends and stuff, and they were literally like, what, you've never seen that? Like, all the classics I have never seen. And it's so embarrassed that I just feel like I didn't even know that existed. And then I've like, so many friends have been like, right, I'm educating you, we're having a movie day, we're watching this. So I'm actually I'm a bit late to the party with the classic films, but so I was more of a TV series type person, and of course I was obsessed with, like, I loved Friends. I didn't like that was still showing on TV when I was growing up, so like I think it was Friday they showed here.
You're showing your age by saying that, so just
I don't mind.
Me too.
I don't mind. So yeah, like that was, I don't know why, that was just, I loved it. I was obsessed with Friends, and I know it's so like, because it's on, everyone can just watch any episode now, like on Netflix, but I used to love it every week, and I still have to put it on before I go to bed to fall asleep to it. And I can the best thing about that is I can turn over to change position in my bed. I don't even have to look at the TV, and I still can see in my head what the scene's doing. So it's like an easy way to fall asleep.
I mean, I'm exactly the same. I think the figure is around Netflix pay the creators of Friends allegedly about 100 million a year to stream Netflix. Friends on Netflix, which is incredible. So think about how many people are watching that for that to be worthwhile. It is true. I was watching Friends today and yesterday, and it's one of those things. But also, we've had a couple of people on the pods that are not fans of Friends, which is
I'm slowly making.
Yeah, that's fun. So okay, filmed for you now. Are you? Would you go when you were allowed to go to the cinema? But would you go to the cinema? Do you like comedies or thrillers or horrors? What is your go-to?
I think for a cinema experience, it's definitely a thriller or a horror. Like, I think, do you know what? Even though I don't know if it's because of my lack of cinema as a child, I don't really go much anymore. Like, I think it's more. I only go if I'm maybe on a date or something like that. But never really. Like, I don't get excited because I just think there's more fun thing to do than sit in a dark room and not speak to anyone. I don't find it very social. I don't find it very sociable. But then if there is a film that I'm like, wow, that's going to be amazing, I am there and I do enjoy it. But that's why I think a thriller or like a horror that gives you like the full experience because you get like the jumps, you get the adrenaline. And the last thing I saw, which I was like blown away by, was I went to see, I think it was It in the second one, and I saw it in like 4DX or something crazy, where I was literally
Wow.
in like rain. There was like a smell every time the balloon came up of like helium. There was wind, there was strobe, there was rocking around. Like I was literally like blown to pieces. My popcorn and drink was spilled everywhere. Yeah, that was quite an experience, which I'm like, cool, do that. Let's go hard with this.
That is incredible. I've only done 4DX once, and it was I think it was called First Man, and it was about going to the moon and stuff. And it literally was an experience. I felt a bit sick, but then I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, like I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Okay, let's round this up. What would you say is Aaron Renfree's best thing when it comes to TV and film? What's your go-to? I'm thinking Friends.
It would be Friends, yeah, like without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So Aaron Renfree's best thing to do with TV and film is Friends. Next up, we're going to be talking food. Aaron, food. I might know what your best thing is to do with food, but I'm not going to break it yet. I have a slight inkling that I might know. But what is your relationship with food? What? Because you work out, you know, you're in good condition. Do you eat whatever you kind of want? What do you do?
I have like a love-hate relationship with food because I love all the things I shouldn't. So I kind of I do have to be healthy and as best as I can, but then obviously there's times where I'm just I go whatever, it's a cheat day, I'll just go, I binge, and it's like an unhealthy binge that I'm not proud of. But I don't know. It's being in lockdown as well. Like I've realised that I've been cooking a lot more, and I feel like, you know, I've enjoyed kind of liking and learning about food a bit more. So I don't know if I've been eating more. I think I'll probably be eating the right amount because I do know what I do usually in life is that being so busy sometimes I do forget to eat, or I do like tend to work for my lunch break. And I'll be completely forget. Then it comes to like the evening, I'm like, oh god, I've not even eaten all day. And then you're so hungry that you probably I just throw it all out the window, and then just probably do eat something that I shouldn't, just because you don't think about getting the healthy food when you're that hungry. So that's my downfall, really. Like the busyness kind of like takes over my healthy eating, like balanced 3 meals a day, and it just becomes into like breakfast and a binge in the evening, which is not recommended. But I feel like with having lockdown, I finally got a schedule. Like, you know, I get to make my nice breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's actually quite a nice regime that I'm not used to having. So, I've definitely enjoyed that part of lockdown, I guess.
Are you a breakfast person? What's your go-to when you have breakfast? Because this morning I had poached eggs and some salad on the side. I was trying not to do any carbs for breakfast, which is really difficult.
Salad for breakfast? That's hard.
I know. Stop it.
So I actually, to be fair, I love breakfast. I could eat a lot of breakfast. Every day I make myself like a really nice smoothie with like bananas and protein and like kind of granola and honey and sometimes dates, and I do put a raw egg in. Don't judge me, but it's like it's fine.
No judgment. No judgment.
And then, you know, if that's what I normally have, but I do love like a poached egg and avocado situation after that. So it's like that is a big breakfast to really have. And there's obviously that if you want to go further, we could go into the pancakes, a 3-course breakfast that does happen sometimes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
What do you have on your pancakes?
Well, I do love a Nutella banana situation, but then sometimes even like a jam and sugar maybe, or strawberries. I don't know. It's whatever's in the fridge or cupboards, to be honest. But you know, either way, I'm happy.
Childhood memories. What was your things that you didn't like to eat that you like now?
Oh, that I didn't like.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I think that one of the things when you get older, your taste buds kind of change a little bit, and so you kind of like. And normally, the go-to is olives. Most people, as kids, don't like
No,
olives, but
I
when you get
haven't grown
older,
up yet. I haven't grown up. I still don't like olives. But I'm not gonna lie, I do try. Like, I actually do try because I used to be a really, really fussy eater as a child, and I was when I was in the band. Literally, they had to make us food like as if for an eight, and I just never liked having like mass meals like like spaghetti bolognese or cottage pie, things that were just easy to make for all eight of us. I just was not a fan of that, so I literally just used to eat poached eggs and toast nearly every day. But then it wasn't until we were working in Barcelona and tapas was quite big over there, and obviously it got to the point where I was so hungry, sat waiting around for food, and I was like, I'm just gonna have to try some of this because I was that hungry. And then I started just like having a little nibble, and I was like, it's not actually that bad. And then for some reason my taste buds changed over tapas, and then I was obsessed with just having a bit of everything. And then I was like, made it a thing that I would always try food, even if I didn't like the look or the smell, because you're not going to die. It's just that you just need to try it and see if you like it or not. And I think from then onwards, like, yeah, I love it. Like sushi, massive, 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 massive sushi fan now. Like even my family don't like that because it's not really a thing down in Cornwall. But I'd say sushi is up there with one of my favorite cuisines. So that's probably actually one of the things I didn't like then, but I do love now.
it is funny when it comes to food because I think our choices change, and not even our taste buds. I think also with the social circle we kind of hang out with, if they eat something and they go, "Oh, go on, have a try this, have this," and you're like, "Oh, I'm not kind of sure." And a lot of people are funny with fish and crustaceans and mussels and all those sort of things, and scallops, and it's one of the things that you are coerced. Is there anyone in your life that you kind of, if they eat it, you would eat it? Is there a friend that you go, "Oh yeah, well if you have it, I'll trust your judgment,"
No,
or they're really good at cooking, so if they cook something well, you
no,
don't trust anyone, do you, Aaron?
not really. Like I'm just not, and I'm not a massive follower, and I literally am just not about peer pressure either. Like no one can make me do anything, and I'm not gonna like put my trust in anyone else. It's just whatever's going on in my little head, I'll make that decision.
I think it was for me. I didn't like mushrooms, and then one of my friends' husbands was really good at like cooking, and so he got mushrooms and he put marmalade in with the mushrooms, and it just was really kind of sweet. And from that moment, I liked mushrooms again. It was just, I think sometimes it's about how people cook things and not
Yeah, yeah.
normally the food itself.
100%. And sometimes, like, bless your parents. Obviously, they usually bringing you up. They only know like one way of cooking something, and then obviously there's so
Yeah.
many ways now as well that have kind of been, people are doing on God knows Instagram, YouTube, all these cook shows or whatever. So it's kind of like there is so many ways you can eat things, which is also the fun of like I've learned in cooking. Like you just put whatever you want with it and just see if it tastes nice. Do you know what I mean? And usually, if you do like the thing you're mixing it with, it should kind of taste all right. So just go with the gut instinct.
Okay, we haven't spoke about it, and I think that you kind of said sushi, and I felt like sushi might be a number 2 for you, but number 1, I'm thinking I know what your best thing is to do with food. You're obsessed with this. Can you tell us your obsession and what it is, Aaron?
The reason I didn't say it is because I don't class it as a food, even though you can eat it.
It is a food.
It's a sauce. It's a sauce. It's ketchup. It's
Yay!
it's an ongoing thing that I think the world knows me for. I get tagged in something on Instagram, Facebook, probably daily, of some crazy ketchup story or meme, or literally my notifications are always to do with ketchup. And it's just, yeah, and I'm not ashamed to say I love it, and we'll put it on literally everything. And even if the questions are ridiculous, I'm pretty much have had it with that food.
Where do you stand on ketchup crisps? Do you like those?
I mean, yeah, I think it's really going to sound really sad, but like part of the satisfaction is the fact that it's a sauce that you can like dip, and you can choose how much you want with that certain food. Whereas a ketchup crisp is you're stuck with that dryness, that it's that amount of the flavor.
Okay, here we go. Here's the main question: ketchup in the cupboard or in the fridge?
Again, fridge, for the sensation of that cold hot mashup.
I think that's true. Okay, it's quite obvious what it is, but I'm going to say sushi in a kind of number 2. So that's fine. We're going to say best thing to do with food is sushi, which is number 2. But actually, really,
it's
tomato
100%
ketchup.
Yeah, it's 100%.
No one will be shocked.
And funny enough, I don't put ketchup on sushi.
What? You need to try it.
I mean, I have, but it's just, I don't know why. It's just I'm okay with that. That is one of the things that I'm safe with.
The one thing he won't put ketchup on is his number 2, which is sushi. Next up, we're going to be talking travel. Aaron, we're talking travel. Are you well travelled?
I think so, but I guess there's so much to see. But I think maybe for the average person, I would like to say I'm quite well travelled because I love doing it. I love travelling.
Are you a staycation person or do you like abroad?
No, I'm getting me as far away as possible when I've got time off. Which is why I've never been to France because it's too close.
So you've never been to Paris? You've never been up the Champs-Elysees or out the Eiffel Tower or anything?
I haven't, which is really bad. I guess I'm just waiting for the right person to whisk me away for a romantic weekend.
I mean, if it happens or doesn't happen, we're going to do a live podcast, so we may do it in Paris just to get you there.
Okay.
We'll send you there remotely. Do you have any nice kind of memories about going on holiday with family or friends when you were younger?
My mum and dad took me on a cruise, which is...
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't really know much about it then. Because I think it's actually fun. I learned more about cruises as I got older because it's obviously in the industry. There's quite a big entertainment thing out there. So it was, as a kid, I just was like, oh, this is weird. Like you just get on a big ship and just get on and off when you kind of like dock, and then you have to like dress. It was like back in the day we had to like proper dress up for every time we went to the dining room, and I mean, it was fun. There was stuff to do. I don't know if I would do it again. I mean, it's my one and only cruise as I've been on in my life, but yeah, that kind of sprung to mind when I
brought that back. I brought that back, haven't I? The cruise. You're like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of a family thing, or when you get older. I think the organization of a cruise is probably good if you can't be bothered to do the organization yourself.
I think I just felt like I was like walking around a lot in these places that you felt you had to get off on. And obviously as a kid, you don't really want to be like walking and sightseeing isn't your mate. I just want to be like I was like, why are we not on a beach? Or why can't I go swimming in the sea? And it's like, oh, you didn't bring your swimming shorts off the thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Off the boat. And it's so it's that. I don't think it was my favorite experience, but then I also got to tick off a lot of places. So it's good, and like it wouldn't be my first choice of a holiday, put it that way.
Well, you've ticked it off. Cruise done. There you go.
But
easy.
Obviously they are like probably a million times better now. Like some of the ones I've seen with like ice rinks, theaters, full on shows. It didn't have all that when I was on ship.
I mean, when it comes to sort of getting around, do you like going on a plane, or do you prefer like driving to places? How do you normally get to your destinations?
Usually like plane. I'm literally get me to the airport 3 hours early, so I get.
You're that person.
I am a person that's annoying everyone. So I get my drink, I get my food, I get the full shopping experience. Yeah, I just love it all. So because I feel like as soon as you wake up, when I wake up the day of travel, I'm buzzed. I'm like fully excited and ready. So I try and make the whole experience like magical.
I feel like I don't want it just in case this is one of the best things to do with travel for you. But you've been to Dubai a few times, and I've been as well. I absolutely love it. How many times have you been?
2. God, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 times now.
Yeah,
like
same.
I think, and I've actually started to do work out there as well. Like there's I've been doing a lot of like workshops and choreography out there because again, the entertainment industry is really kind of booming over there, and I've got a couple of friends that live out there too, and I've been able to kind of like sack off the hotel that I was obviously would go out there for work and stay with my friends, and obviously just they would take me to places that are kind of like that you can go and do like kind of classy bougie places, and also I've been to some absolute like the Weatherspoons equivalent of for Dubai. And it's just like it's another world, and you know what, it's such like a safe place, although a lot of people go, oh, be careful out in Dubai, but do you know what, honestly, like you don't see anything. Like the bottom line is do as you're told, and like have some common sense and don't do anything you shouldn't. Like other than that, it's clean, it's safe, it's fun, it's beautiful. Like I don't know, I can't really knock it. And obviously it's good weather all year round, so and it's not too far for like us to get to. So I think it's the only thing, I guess it's not got that kind of like cultural thing. I guess I'm lucky that I do have friends or I've been working out there, but I wouldn't, because I guess with the whole like staying in a hotel and resort, I get quite limited. I don't like maybe staying there just for the whole duration. I guess there's actually tons to do, so it's a great place.
I mean, we sound like we're the tourist board for Dubai. We're not. We're not getting paid. It's fine. Any places that you've not been that you would like to go? And if you say Vietnam, it's the same as everyone else. They've either been or they want to go. So
I've actually heard Cambodia's a good place to go, but I don't know much about it. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. That's big on my list.
Yes.
And obviously, like the places that, you know, once in a lifetime, the Seychelles, Bora Bora, those type places.
Paris.
I know. I've not even been to Disney before.
What?
I know.
Not even in the States. Not. You're not just
no,
saying.
No, I did have a trip booked as a kid, and then I think I got in the band. So yeah, it didn't end up happening. So I've just never ended up going back. So I definitely want to go. I'm not like over that dream because I'd love to go with like my nephews or, you know, or just a group of friends or whatever. Like I just think it's still going to be obviously amazing, but I've just never got around to it.
There's another one for you to tick off, I think. So when it comes to the best thing to do with travel, what would you say for you, Aaron, is the best thing when it comes to travel? I want to say like airports for you now.
No, I mean, as much as I love them, I think the main thing for me to do about traveling is literally just escape, like the escape of like the crazy busy world that I live in, and just kind of like switch off, go far away, be somewhere where it's a different, you know, climate, culture, and just completely switch off and just be by that sand and sea and have a drink in hand.
But the funny thing is by you say sand and sea, you were brought up in Newquay. You buy sand and sea all the time. It's beautiful there.
I know, it is an amazing place. You know what I mean? It's just, but experiencing that somewhere else. And obviously, if I was at home in Newquay, I'd literally know someone, or I don't know, or you wouldn't get that full holiday experience. But no, like I said, I love just to go far, far away to get a full change of lifestyle.
Yeah, I guess it's for you. It's like you can switch off a little bit as well, and you don't have to kind of, you know, worry about the outer world. If you're back home in Newquay, then you've got people you know and your family and all that stuff. But if you go away and you just got your friends and you're just chilled on a beach, you know, with the escape, I think is what you're loving. I'm gonna say for you, Aaron, the best thing to do with travel is escape, escaping the world, and chilling out.
100%.
Next up, we're going to be talking music.
Hi everyone, it's Bethia from Bethia's Beats. This week I have a band to share with you all called Simple Fiction. Their sound is influenced by bands such as Catfish and the Bottlemen and the Amazons. They've had some amazing career highlights so far, such as sharing the stage with Blocks and Valeras, and their latest single is called Follow, which is out now. Here's a snippet of it playing in the background. To listen to the full song, it will be playing at the end of the podcast, along with all the details of their social media and where to find the song, and that will all be linked below. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Aaron, music. I mean, this is your life, isn't it, really, when it comes to everything you do?
Everything. And it's been a massive part of my life, just because it's, you know, I work with it, I listen to it if I'm driving, shopping, in the shower. There's always got to be music playing, just to get me through, But yeah, it's a big part of my life, and I love it.
What are you listening to right now? What's on your shuffle?
Right now, God, there's so much, like, there has been, even though like music hasn't really stopped in this lockdown, has it? Like, no. It's still, people have still been churning out albums. One of the last albums I kind of got is I'm a big fan of JoJo. The girl that was back in the day, Leave, Get Out. She obviously now she's out of her horrendous contract that she was tied up with, and she's allowed.
They still won't release her music. It's so weird.
Well, no, she's re-recorded both of her original albums.
It's not the same. It's not the same,
but it's still there. We can still listen to it. But she recently released a new album, and I'm still like a massive fan of hers. Like, I really respect her as a person, her voice, and I'm literally buzzing that she released an album for me for lockdown. It was like she listened to my prayers.
It was just for you, wasn't it?
I think it was just for me. And then I did a TikTok to it, and she saw it, and she retweeted it, and I literally died. Yeah, I died. So much that I even bought the face mask with the merch that's got the album name on the front of it.
You were loyal, I'll give you that. Also, she won an Oscar for part of a duet with PJ Morton as well, which is a great song.
I know.
I know my stuff. I'm a big JoJo fan. I actually have tickets to go and see her live. But I think with her, I mean, she's got such a story. I think she's actually just got interviewed by Jessie Ware on her podcast lately. And just her career starting so early is kind of slightly the same as you. Your career started early as well.
Yeah, and it's weird because I feel like even though she couldn't release, she leaked, and there's a lot of leaked songs and demos out there, and all of the music she was trying to she was writing for an album that was kind of never guaranteed to kind of come out. I just love her for being so honest and like she's got a kind of angriness about her that kind of like she speaks the truth, and I've always connected with that. And I feel like, yeah, because I guess we have had similar upbringings, and whether it be in career or to do with love, I can always for some reason connect with what she's saying about. I don't know if it's we've had similar experiences because I obviously don't know her inside out, but
yet you could be working on her team. I feel it's there, it's coming.
It's just an artist that her music has always kind of spoken to me, and I've always really kind of connected with it. So yeah. But again, she's so underrated. Not many people will know her or remember her. So I'm trying to do my thing and get her remembered. So yeah,
we'll get into it. So music for you is like super important, and we were talking before, and I knew this anyway. But sort of Destiny Child was your kind of way into that kind of, I'd say, more R&B kind of feel when with the early music and Beyonce, doing what she did.
100%. Because I think growing up, dance was naturally my thing, and I always wanted to copy. I basically taught myself by literally recording on a VHR, what are they called?
I mean, younger listeners will have no idea what you're talking about. It was tape.
A tape, that's the one. A tape, yeah. Tape. And literally recorded like back and forth, pause, start to learn these routines. And they were like any pop star that had which is obviously what we had access to, and which would usually be on our TV screens, was like the S Club 7s, the Billy Piper. I remember dancing to her. And obviously the Spice Girls were a massive thing because they used to have dancers. And obviously you couldn't escape that mania. But I think it was the Destiny's Child that kind of, when I obviously wanted to maybe take dance a bit more seriously, and I did discover like R&B. And I think also I was a massive boy band fan of like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and I think they were kind of like, maybe they were still pop, but they still had that kind of R&B vibe to it. So that they kind of got me that going down that route. And then but no, Destiny's Child, those early albums, amid all the girl lineup switches, they really did get me into it.
I mean, you have danced with so many amazing people and some friends as well, which has been lovely. And it's great for me to see that. I think I saw you a couple of times performing at Heaven and stuff like that with different people. And obviously I saw you on the X Factor doing stuff, and you did the choreography for our X Factor year as well. I mean, dance wise, I feel like it must be just in your blood now.
It is like, I don't know, just I hear music and I kind of instantly, sometimes you're like, right, I'd love to do a piece of this, or I'd love to get creative with this. Yeah, it's just, I kind of see everything, I hear and see, because everyone's like, oh, how do you make up the moves? And I'm like, to be honest, I don't know. I kind of get a feeling and go, this would be good to dance to. And then it's just basically steps that you kind of just fit the piece together. But no, then obviously music is the influence from that. So that's the core.
I mean, yeah, of course, and you have done super well with everything you've done, and I mean, you could see you on your TikToks and all your. I love the fact when you put out these videos that so many people want to show you their version of what you've done. What does that do to you when you see people kind of emulating what you're doing and you've created?
It's actually mental because recently when this is a little secret here. So like obviously TikTok is all over the world, and then I know obviously music on a Thursday for us usually gets released at midnight, and I knew that Lady Gaga's and Ariana's Rain on Me was going to come out, and obviously I was thinking, right, I'm going to get this before America. I know how big America, there's so many people on TikTok in America that like do the routines. So I was thinking, right, I'm going to get in on this. And I remember waking up on Friday going, oh my God, I've got work today, what am I going to do? So I literally was like, my whole plan's out the window. So I literally did I had 15 minutes to do this like little 15-second routine, and was like, press send, and I went into more my Zoom classes teaching, and then like came back to it at the end of the day and was like, people around the world are going nuts for this routine, and it's like people all over the world are just kind of like making their own. I've seen people doing it in their swimming pools in America. I've seen people doing it like on the beach in Australia. Like, it's absolutely crazy, the power of TikTok. And just like a quick 15-second thing that I did to obviously a song that I knew was going to be big and obviously people were going to be like searching for, you just jump on that and then it's so cool. And then obviously, you know, people have then I've connected with them and I want to learn their stuff, or they kind of go back on my other TikToks and learn. And then you kind of just, I'm connecting with dancers, and I think it's such a friendly environment because everyone's just so eager to post and learn off each other and keep each other entertained in this lockdown. I've really enjoyed it. And it's nuts what music and dance can kind of do.
It's been amazing, and I saw that straight away when you did it as well. And I'm not even on TikTok, and I saw it. And also you've been doing some great stuff, thanking people in the NHS as well, and a lot of people doing those videos. That's been crazy and awesome. What would you say is? I mean, there's just must be so many. But when it comes to music, what is your best thing? Is it an artist? Is it dance? Is it, you know, what is it for you?
I think it's usually like a creative. Because basically, like, people go watch who's your favorite artist, and I really struggle because I feel like all artists have different eras that they kind of if they've got like a new album or something, I think it changes each time. So I kind of like, I probably do jump to different artists depending on their creativeness at the time. And I just think sometimes I'm on board with their creatives, or I kind of take what they've released and I go, right, this is what I would love to do with it. And I just think, you know, I think it's that kind of makes me love it so much that it's never like one thing, and music is evolving, or people throw it back to the back in the day like tunes or remix them. It's never ending, and you know, and also it's so enjoyable to kind of try and be unique, or always trying to be different to stand out is definitely one of the hardest things. But I love that. I love the fact you can, right, what we're gonna do today, let's maybe take this song or do these moves that are kind of meant for that, but you can mix it with that, and it's just crazy. I love it.
Well, I'm going to say that Aaron Renfree's best thing to do with music is creativity, and I'm going to say I want to thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Next up, we're going to be talking something random. I'm intrigued about what you're going to say here. Aaron, what is your kind of best thing which is random? What have you been doing? What have you been using the most?
Well, I've got a bit of a obsession with gadgets.
Okay.
Not like naughty ones, PS.
I like how you have to caveat that in there. Not the naughty ones. Yeah. What sort of gadgets are you talking about, Aaron? Like you're wearing AirPods right now, so you must be a bit of an Apple fan.
Yes, I am, and I actually do have a ketchup inspired Apple AirPods case.
I can see. Can you take a picture of that and we'll put it on the pod as well?
I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm obsessed with anything that's like unique or just different. Like I've got electric blinds in my house that I love pressing up and down at the beginning and the end of the day, just because why not? That's fun.
Because you can.
Because you can. Like when I had my bathroom refurbished, I put speakers into the tiles because I'm obsessed with music. I know, and so it's like a Bluetooth kind of like music system in there.
That's awesome. I love that.
I think I've kind of got this from my dad as well. Like they've got a few random gadgets at home. Like they've got one of those like Hoovers that are kind of like the whole Hoover is in the garage, and then like there's pipes all through the like kind of like the walls, and like say in the kitchen there's like a little kind of like a vent that if you open, you can basically just brush into this event. As soon as you open the vent, it just automatically sucks everything down into the garage.
I've never heard of this. This is amazing.
and then obviously if you go like and then at certain points in the wall, you just literally put a tube in, and then that's obviously got the Hoover. So then as soon as you open the flap, it automatically sucks. So then you don't have to carry a Hoover around. You just have to carry like the pipe bit and then the sucker upper, whatever they're called. Sorry,
we'll call it that. I like that. It's cool. It's called the sucker upper. So
because if you've got a big house, it doesn't mean you're dragging a massive big Hoover around, especially like on stairs. So my mum's just got this like extra long hose, and then it just goes around. But it's so good that it all just goes down to the garage, and it's easy to empty out.
That sounds amazing. Well, I mean, so gadgets for you, were you into gadgets when you were younger? Did you have like a Game Boy or like a Sega Mega Drive? Or were you into gaming?
Sega, yes. I was actually a big gamer, and I've kind of like I don't know why, I just never really I never grew up with it really. I think when I got into the band, that kind of died, that kind of killed it off for me. I just never really kept up with the ever changing consoles. And I think now I can't imagine me sat down on my own in my flat getting lost in a world of Call of Duty, speaking to people around the world that I don't know.
I think it's Fortnite now, and I'll tell you what's really funny about these games and stuff. I had this lovely little conversation on a podcast I was listening to yesterday, and it was about a granddad learned how to play Fortnite so he could speak to his nephew. Oh no, it's grandson. How nice is that?
So cute. That's really cute. I love
That's
that.
like effort, isn't it? I mean, gadgets are a funny one. I've got those things that do my lights, so I can say the lady's name I can't say, otherwise my whole house will just start beeping. Are you a fan of those kind of Echo Dot things? I try not to say her name.
Do you know what? She is actually one of the gadgets that I've not 100% sold into for some reason, because I've got such a wide range of music, and I get annoyed if she can't find the track that I want. Like,
Same.
so I can't. I'm a bit of a control freak, and I'm not going to let her rule my music library and think it's okay to do that. So it's like I need to be in charge. So I've not really bought into the whole Ellie EXA situation.
I do. I think that people are either for or against it, and my problem is I just have, because they're quite cheap and stuff, so you can just sort of have them around the house and
Yeah.
and every single time she just starts talking to me, or it's talking to itself, or it just starts playing a song randomly. Normally opera for no reason in my house. I'm just like, I don't think I've ever listened to opera or asked it to play opera before. Maybe it's got a bit of a bug inside. Is there any kind of gadget that you think is coming out in the future that you think, oh, that is what I would really like? My auntie's just bought a robot Hoover that drives the dogs insane, which I feel like doesn't work very well, but apparently she loves it, so it's fine, and she'll listen to this, so I'll be in trouble. But is there any kind of gadget you think, oh, that's the next gadget I'm gonna get?
I have actually looked into getting one of those, even though I've only a small portion of my house would need it. But I don't know how Oreo would react, which is my dog. But yeah, just because that is me being lazy and thinking that's a fun gadget to kind of just set off and wander around my house. But no, gadgets of the future.
They've kind of got AI sort of coming and augmented reality, so you can kind of, if you wanted to get a new sofa, or you wanted to put some art on the wall, it can kind of you can put it against the wall and film the wall, and it sort of says this picture or this picture. And I think that's quite cool that's coming in. And would you have any chips put inside you to be like slightly a robot?
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know how I feel about all that. Obviously, I've seen that if they thought about even having your payment system, so you could actually just pay for stuff with your hand or something. I mean, that's a good idea, but then what happens when you're mugged and they saw your arm off and then just go willy-nilly round paying for Pret coffees and stuff? I'd
rather they just take my watch off me. You know what I mean? It's exactly the same. Well, apparently they're thinking about doing stuff, and I think they're working. I think it's Elon Musk. I heard him talk, and they're working on people who have disabilities and some sort of thing, and they're going to be drilling into the brain and putting chips and stuff into your skull and stuff. Would that be anything that you'd be into?
No, I think I'm more the gadgets for me are more. I love gadgets that make life easier. That's my gadget, and I think I don't know. I just love I'm just looking around my house to see what else is kind of gadgety. I actually made so gadgets and the kind of DIY-ish things that you make up yourself. I made bedside lights out of hundreds of aftershave bottles that I'd kind of saved. They're all kind of clear, and I put strip lighting behind. And I had to wait for ages to get these bedside tables that fit a certain amount of these lights, so they fit perfectly. But they look really cool, and I just love, because I know that it's different. I know that no one else is going to have them. I think that's what I love. Is obviously gadgets aren't everyone's got them, and I think it's something that's kind of unique to a person. I kind of like those things.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds super creative. You are super creative. What's going on? What's coming up next for Aaron? When everything kind of goes back to sort of normal? I do air quotes there, but what is next? What's happening in Aaron's world?
I know, I mean, I'd love to know myself, to be honest, but it's just one of those things where, at the moment, for this industry, it's a bit of the unknown. But I think this time has definitely made me more determined, and just to whatever I was doing before, though I was working hard, I think you can never do too much. And I just think I've learned not to care as much about what maybe other people think. I think especially with TikTok, I would never really used to put many like dance videos of myself up online. I think now I'm just doing it because I love it and celebrating and connecting, and it's fun to do whilst I'm stuck in my house. And I just think that has made me go, who cares what you do? Like if you've got an idea, explore it. And I just think that's going to really help my work ethic when I come out of this. So, just go out there and create.
I think any time in history there's ever been a time that humanity has kind of had to stop or slow down, the creativity that is created afterwards is intense, and there is a lot. And I think there's going to be so many things that people go, I'm going to do that now. And I think that's what's going to happen when everything goes back to normal, whenever that is. I think that's going to be great to experience and go and do those things. You've been like, oh, I didn't have time for that. You're like, no, I'm going to do it. And I think that you're great at that. And you've kind of made that with your TikTok. I think you've got like quite a few followers on there. What is your TikTok handle? Where can people find you?
It's the same as all my social media. It's just Aaron Renfree.
You got your name. Well done, you.
I know. I've managed to do it with everything, and but I'm also a bit OCD with things like that. I'd be livid if I couldn't. I think I'd definitely be like tracking them down and like paying them off to be like, I need my name. I'm sorry. Like I can't. I have to have it. Like I've just got weird OCD about those things.
I like it. It's good. Do you know, Aaron, you've been an absolute star. From the first moment I ever met you back in the day, sort of 12 years ago, you were a star then. God. You're still a star now. And you, for some reason, look bloody younger. Anyway, thank you so much for doing the podcast, and have a good one. Keep safe.
Thanks for having me.
It's time for the thank yous. It's only polite. Thank you so much to our wonderful guest today, Aaron Renfree. Also, thank you to Adam Harris, keeping us all fact-checked in this wonderful episode. Thank you to Bethia Beats, bringing us some of the best in brand new music. And of course, we couldn't do it without him. It's Mr. Professor Ollie Guillou, making sure that we're all edited and put together nicely. The music in the background was written by myself, Tom Baxter, and Jimmy Lundy. And the artwork was by JMD. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Next up for Bethia Beats' choice is Simple Fiction, and this is Follow. See you next time.
I
guys, Adam, Fat Chicken, with your answer for you. Well done. You stayed the course. You got here. Don't know how you do it, to be honest. Guys, can cockroaches survive an apocalypse? Well, there's loads of boring stuff in the answer, but ultimately, looks like, yeah, they could actually survive a nuclear explosion, as they've got simple bodies and slower cell cycles, and they can withstand extreme radiation exposure. Ugh. Alright guys, see you next time.